Hey everyone, I am Ndavi Nokeri and I'm going to be reacting to my Miss South Africa performance. Let's watch. So I remember when we watched this for the first time and we all got so emotional with the ladies because I think we could all just see ourselves reflected in this little girl. And yeah, just to see how it, like, this one dream that we all had brought us all together. It's so beautiful. So here we literally had 7 seconds to get on stage and get into our positions. So we ran onto the stage in our heels, which is so funny because you just hear these little clicks of the shoes going on, and then we stood and froze. It was so beautiful. And sitting backstage, you know how our dresses were made out of wire and things like that. So we actually couldn't even sit. We had to stand backstage and wait for our time to run. I really enjoyed the song. The lyrics were so powerful. Also, just knowing that it was a sample from the Brenda Fassie song, I think we were all just jamming all along, and yeah. I remember when we actually watched this for the first time, hearing our voices, we were also emotional because I think after watching the show every year and you hear the girl just speak, like saying where she comes from and what she's representing, that was so powerful. And the crowd went crazy. I was literally feeding off the energy from the crowd, and I could feel that my family was sitting on the left side of the stage, just literally from the noise and yeah, just how much they were cheering. Anela was literally the best host that we could have had. Swimwear is my favorite section, I must say. You get to have fun. I remember we were standing backstage at this point and we were in like this Vogue type of pose, really powerful. And I was standing next to Kia, and this girl was making me laugh the entire time, and that time I'm supposed to pull a straight face. So yeah, that was actually so hilarious. You see, at this point I was like, I need to stop laughing. Guys, Luyanda really brought it with this section. Like, I don't think anyone would have been a better opener for this section. Look at that walk. Yes. Before we went on, I had the scratch on my leg, so I literally just saw that I was bleeding. And I remember the glam team got up and everyone was just trying to put makeup to cover up because it was so red. And so it was such a mess backstage before I got on, but I'm sure you can't even see it on my leg. Hey. Ugh, I really had so much fun with this. So you really can't see the scar. I was so worried that it would be so obvious. Oof. Ndoni was such a vibe on that stage. I think my favorite swimsuit was actually Ayanda's. Look at that corset. Where do you see a corset in a swimsuit? This was so beautiful. There's a part at the end, you see, where we all have to come together. And I kept forgetting to start walking with rehearsals. I'll show you now. Oh, Tamsin. Now this was also a beautiful one. that point we all had to turn back, I literally kept forgetting to turn around with rehearsals. And so that night I was like, girl, you cannot get it wrong again. So at least I got it right at the finale, but I kept forgetting with rehearsals. Oh, we looked so beautiful. Oh my goodness. So now we're going over to evening wear. This is also one of my favorite sections because you just get to walk so slowly, gracefully. And yeah, I remember my gown was actually not finished that afternoon. We finished my gown. I think the show was about to start around 4, and then we added the last parts, because if you look at the pictures from the day before, you can see that the last part was not added as yet. So the little sling on my dress, I was a bit stressed earlier on, and yeah, but it turned out so beautifully. Oh my gosh, I literally wanted to cry with this song. It's so beautiful. I think this is now my favorite song, literally because of this evening. Oh, how beautiful was this gown by Yula Shea? Oh my word. I remember I was second guessing if I should do the turn here, because now I felt like my slit is so low and that the train is too long. But I was like, we get one shot, so we're doing it. So before evening wear, we had to literally run off stage after swimwear. We literally had to run off stage, and we had like 20 dresses. So every girl had 2 people assigned to her to help her get out of the swimwear and into the evening gown, because we had, I don't really remember how many minutes, but everything is so tight. So as we're running off from swimwear, we literally were getting undressed as you get backstage to get into your evening gown. And with me, there was more pressure because I was going first. So I literally had to get out and into the new dress as quickly as possible. And then you get on stage and you act like, hi, you know, everything is fine, everything is normal, nothing to see here. Oh, I love the thrill of that. I remember at this point I was backstage just jamming to the song. I don't think at this point it had sunk in that the actual show is happening, because the day before we had rehearsals, we practiced everything, we practiced all the announcements. So I think in my mind it was still rehearsal, so I'm super relaxed. I'm not really thinking about what's about to happen. So yeah, I think I was just too calm actually for my liking. I could actually see my dad from stage, and he was looking so stressed. I remember looking at him and he was sitting like this, and I was like, okay, I'm going to look in another direction. I'm not about to stress myself out, and I was just having so much fun. I absolutely love Levi's dress. It's so her, so beautiful. Oh, guys, Ayanda's reactions were the best. Literally, that smile lit up the entire evening. Like, she has the most beautiful smile ever. I don't know, I'm nervous now. Like, oh, I'm so stressed. Gosh. I really can't believe that They had already read out 3 ladies, and I was still standing there, very calm. I had no stress. Okay, so at this point it was getting a bit shaky. You know, they've read 4 people and now there's only space left for 1 more. I think they had started ringing that girl, there's 1 more name, and if it's not yours, the evening is done. But I had so much faith that it was going to be me. Yeah, I don't know, I just was so at peace, and I was like, it's fine, it's going to be my name. You know when you just get that feeling? Did you guys hear that? Anela actually said Doheri. I need to go change my surname at Home Affairs because I like Doheri as well. Oh my God. Okay, so this is where the stress started, because now I was called out last, and that meant that I'm going to answer last. So before we came up again, I remember we were sitting backstage and everybody was just sitting in their own corner. Like you're just trying to gather your thoughts. For me, it was really trying to calm down because I know when you're on stage, you can really just get distracted by everything else. But I just wanted to get into the zone where I can just think and yeah, not be nervous at all. But every time someone answered, I was like, oh my gosh, that was so good. They were all so amazing. But I don't think I would have wanted to go first either, because, you know, you're breaking the ice for everybody else. But last was very tough. Yeah, so here I've worked up my nerves quite a bit after listening to all the answers. I didn't know how I was going to be able to top it. Here, I was actually like happy to get a question from Prof, because I knew that she would speak on something regarding social justice, because I'd done my research on her background, and so I wasn't too nervous about getting a question from her. I just wanted to ensure that I can say what I want to say in the best way that I could say it. But the crowd, oh my goodness, I think the crowd was a bit stressed on my behalf. I remember they went woo in that moment. I was like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, calm down, calm down. Don't think about the crowd. There goes the crowd. I actually, in this moment, didn't see that my time started ticking. So I was waiting for everyone to calm down, and then Anne was like, clock is ticking. I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, speak.
Moving forward as a nation while half of the country is still getting left behind. 50% of our country is still living below the poverty line, and it is our responsibility to ensure that we create a sustainable, innovative, and most importantly, an inclusive South Africa so that we can unlock opportunities for all.
You know, when now watching this, I don't know where that came from, honestly. Even the part where I'm like, and most importantly, I'm like, how did I know what is most important in that moment? It really boggles my mind how I was able to actually express myself in that moment. Yeah, no, and the crowd was so supportive. So I was very proud at that point. I was really happy with just what I've done, and whatever was to happen going forward, I was good with that. Yeah, so this was stressful because it could have been anyone's game at this point.
The judges have decided. May I please have the envelope?
Here. I'm literally getting nervous right now.
And one is one step closer closer to being your Miss South Africa 2022. Ladies, good luck.
I remember I'd look down and I'd see my sister and she'd tell me, smile. So if you see my face going down, then all of a sudden I smile again. I've just made eye contact with my sister.
First one in the top 3 is...
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Guys, I can't describe the feeling in this moment. I was literally overjoyed. I look so emotional. Oh my gosh. Looked like I was about to cry. That's literally how I felt. I was so grateful to just have gotten that far in the competition. But also I was stressed. I was like, okay, so now I have to answer another question. Okay, cool.
And finally, one spot remains, and it belongs to...
Lebogang and Ayanda are so amazing. I was so happy to be standing there with them. Oh my goodness.
Ndavi's with me. Ayanda as well as Lebo.
Oh gosh, I was going first here. Oh my goodness.
But mind the hair, don't mess up the hair.
So yeah, so with the first one I went last, which I think it was better to go first actually, because you just get it done. You don't have too much time to think about too many things and stress. So yeah, I think this was really good for me to go first.
Mercedes Benz say you guys can have a G63. Nah, obviously can't share that with me. Why wouldn't you jump up when someone says that to you? All right, the question from Twitter is from Christopher PD. Ndavi, your question is, as a South African, what is the most important thing to keep the unity of our nation?
History is the greatest teacher. And to know where you are going, you need to know where you come from. Being a nation that comes from a past of racial segregation, we know that when we were divided, we were at our weakest. So as Miss South Africa, I would implore us to stand together and embrace every single culture, race, gender, and sexuality, because in our diversity, we are strong.
Oh my gosh, yo. I'm so proud of this girl because I don't know how she did that. Honestly, I think for me, it shocks me that I was able to do that. And it just shows how if you really calm yourself, how much you can actually do. And I had actually had a conversation the night before with a friend of mine about what I'm really passionate about. And I think that's what made it easy for me to speak on it, because the night before I was actually having a genuine conversation with my friend and we actually spoke about the past of South Africa. And so that really played to my advantage.
Your question is from...
You know, when you're standing at the back, you literally can't hear a thing. And they were playing like the coolest songs. I had to try stand still because they were playing such cool songs. And I wanted to break out in a dance at the back. You can see the smiles are a bit shaky right now. I think this point was the most stressful throughout the whole show. Yo guys, I get goosebumps every time she says my name. I feel like I'm standing right there again and hearing it for the first time. Oh gosh, I think this was my proudest moment. At this point I was like, it's done, I'm happy, the show can finish, this is it. I was just so happy to know that, you know, I've done this, I've gotten this far. And whatever happened after that, I was okay with. Oh, guys, Ayanda's reactions make my life. She is so cute.
Congratulations for making it this far.
Yeah, I think I was like to Ayanda, I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy to be walking this journey with you.
Take a walk. South Africa, this is...
And I'm saying, let's go. Yeah, they could have ended the show right here. That was it for me. I really can't even remember what I was thinking in this moment. Like, yeah, at this point my mind went blank. Ayanda and I said something to each other here, but we both don't recall. I've asked her, she also can't remember what we were saying. We were having a full-on conversation and none of us knows what we were saying. Yo. Oh my God. Yeah, so everything from there on was a blur. My body was literally shaking. That's how like surreal that moment was. I was so shocked. I can't believe this actually happened. I can't believe it. No ways. I'm taking such deep breaths, like I literally couldn't breathe. Oh my God. So here Lalela asked me, she's like, are you ready? I'm like, no. And I was like, okay, yo. And that's really when it hit me, when the crown also was put on my head. Gosh. So Ayanda and I were actually supposed to do a whole handshake after they announced, but like I said, everything was a blur after that. I don't even know why we agreed to doing that, because I didn't remember. She actually reminded me after that, girl, I was waiting. And then, yeah, nothing happened. Oh. Then all the girls came in. I wouldn't have wanted to share that moment with anyone else. You know, we walked this journey together from top 30 through to top 10. So it was so beautiful to just have everyone there. Oh, true sisterhood. I truly want to cry. Yeah, so that was quite the show. I hope you're also in tears with me. But yeah, that was my reactions to watching my performance.